Hello, hello, hello. Sam Tobert, Sound of Joy Music Services. And it's been a while since I did a live stream. Let me just adjust my. There you go. You see me a little bit better. How's everyone doing today? Those who have been supporting me here on my YouTube page. And I'm also streaming to my Facebook page, two groups there. As I say, I always want to be able to share information that's going to help a musician become the best they can possibly be. So today we're going to be doing. I've been doing a lot of videos. The month of April, my birthday month, which I reached the ripe age. I won't say ripe old, but the ripe age of 66, and posted over 50 videos in the month of April. So I'm going to take a breather or a break from doing the videos, and I'm going to transform back into my studio mode where I have several songs I have written over the past 40 years. That may be a stretch, 35 years. Age is going to tell me. And they have been sung in church settings, but never been made available to the general public, you might say. Technology makes it possible now for me to invest in services of singers who are online, and I may share the page of the online singer that I'm going to. Uh, I have decided the services I want to use. Let you hear some of her talents will be as I reimagine this song. In one sense, it was written for a choir. I want to change it now for a group size, which means I'm going to change some of the harmonies, some of the lyrics will stay the same, basic melody will stay the same, but I want to change some of the harmonic tones that I'm going to put around it to match that of a group. Since now we're out of the large choir mode and we're into the small praise team mode, I think I can readapt this song in a gospel praise team mode, not CCM, though I may look at some of the chords that may accompany the melody, but it'll be written in a gospel format and it's going to be pitched around female voices. Tenor voice can be adapted if they lower the key, but I'm trying to stretch my reach as to can I recreate something that I have done. So for those that are watching, thank you. Let me just do some housekeeping. I always like to make those who come into my YouTube page welcome. So I'm just typing in a welcome. And of course, questions can be asked. Now, for those of you who are on my Facebook page, of course, you can post questions there. I am monitoring on my Facebook page, so if a question should come up there, let me just go back to my page. Okay, so if a question comes up there, I am monitoring that page also, so I have no problem stopping and pausing, as you might say, just to answer questions as to what is the process that I've used in the past and what am I changing it to it in the future. Now, the title of the song I am going to rearrange is God Still Answers Prayer. Now, I wrote this song because I was at a church that had a big sign up on their wall. Shout out to Fellowship Tabernacle on Fordham Road in the Bronx, New York. And the pastor there is J. Gooding Jr. I saw this sign up in his church, pray until something happens. Now, as a songwriter, you always look for something that's going to inspire you, give you a landing point for any music that you're thinking about writing. So when I read that on his wall some years ago, I said, pray until something happens. So now you begin to formulate the elements of lyrics around a subject. So the title song came to me, God Still Answers Prayer. Pray until something happens. Push, Push, pray until something happens title came to me, God Still Answers Prayer. So now that I got my base subject matter and my title, what can I fill in the lyrics to be? So the lyrics came to me. God still answers prayer. Okay. He will be right there. All right. It's rhyming. Hold on and don't despair. Why? God still answers prayer. So now I've got my first set of lyrics, and I'm getting messages. Okay. Let me just put that on vibrate. So now I got my first set of, I've got my title, I've got my first set of lyrics. Now comes the melody. So what I want to show you, let's just change to that page. Here is the sheet music written out. I'm not sure if you see that well enough. I'm going to try and expand it. Trying to remember what year did I write this. I didn't put the year down. I believe it was 1989. There we go. So, and again, when you are creating sheet music and you're beginning to put down tangible notes, this is a tangible medium. I like to using electronic software when I create music so that I can, as I say, put my digital John Hancock on it. So there I don't have I have my copyright insignia, but I don't have the date. I'm going to have to go back in my software and redo this software anyway. But this is the elements of the song. Produced by Sound of Joy Productions, music and lyrics by Samuel Tolbert, my title, and what key I'm going to pitch it in. At this time I pitched it in the key of E flat, which I found to be tenor and alto friendly, high for sopranos, but because I wanted a real pop in the song, I had to put it at a range where I can get some sopranos really stretching the limits of their voice. But which is why I said I'm going to keep it in that key, because I want to make this more praise team friendly for those high singers. So looking at the lyrics, God still answers prayer. He will be right there. Hold on and don't despair. God still answers prayer. So as you can see, 3-part harmony. When I write songs, I hear it in 3 parts. I hear the melody first, then parts automatically fall into place. They give me that tonality of that gospel sound, 3-part harmony, and I'm going to show you what some of that looks like. Oh, Samuel, my namesake. Thanks for coming in and spending some time with me. If you can, let me know where you're from. Your name looks like you're not from the United States, but if you are, welcome. If you're not, I'd like to know where you're from. I sort of keep a mental note of who comes to visit me and where they are located. Thank you for coming in. I hope I can be an assistance to you in branching beyond that part of when you first learn how to play, where you now start to compose. So we're at the point where we have our title, we have our basis for our title, we have the first set of lyrics. So now we begin to put that into music, and that we will do right here. So I left a small image of what the sheet music looked like. Just adjusting some of my lights here. God still answers prayer. I wrote this song not as a singer, but as a composer. So I had to hear all the elements of the song so that I could pitch where the notes would be. E flat. Okay, let's change this. We're not in a piano mode. I'm always doing something. There we go. Make sure that we can be heard. There we go. So, and again, I wrote the song to be lively and to be up-tempo. So I had to look at where the voicings can drop so that there's as much punch in the song. God still answers prayer. That's my melody. He will be right there. That's the melody. Hold on and don't despair. God still answers prayer. Melody. Now, when you're not a singer, you're always, and you're writing a piece, you're hoping that the singers that you do encourage to learn the song from you can articulate what you're hearing in your head. So that's the soprano part. From Zambia. Thank you. Welcome. So, because it's gospel, now my next voicing would be alto, following it down. And as you can see, it's in the scale. He will be right there. Hold on and don't despair. God still answers prayer. There we go. That's correct. So now, as I'm still, who else joined us? As I'm still listening to the song, I'm hearing God still answers prayer. Boom, boom, boom. Chance to breathe, because it's going to go again. He will be right there. Be right there. In my head, I'm setting a tempo. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, and don't despair. God still answers prayer. Now, the tenor voice, of course, is going to follow in that root sense, but in the gospel sense, God still answers prayer. So it's 3-part harmony, gospel 101. He will be right there. Just holding that note up there. Let it go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and hold on and hold. Hold on. Gotta remember it now. He will be right there. Hold on and don't despair. There we go. Hold on and don't despair. Now, high G, that gets tenor voice up there. But as I say, I'm going to have the artist that I'm, the service provider singer that I'm going to select, and I'll show you a snippet of her page, is why I selected her, has that range to give me the full breadth of those words. God still answers prayer. Now, as a songwriter, before I put it on the sheet music, I had to put it in my head first. So now that I hear 3 parts, God still answers prayer, and I may change this a little bit. 3, 2, boom, 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 boom. He will, let it go, be right there. Now, I might change that to bring it down a little bit so it becomes a little bit more. Hold on, and don't despair, and God still answers prayer. So now I've got my first verse down. And in this sense, I have only one verse, a chorus, and a vamp, because I wrote this for a choir. So I don't need it longer than 3.5 minutes. So now you put a bottom to that. So now I've got my bass bottom to it, the bottom that is going to be holding up that 3-part harmony. The musicians in the back can be doing a whole lot of other chords. He will be right. Hold on and don't despair. Hold on and don't despair. I'm working on the bass also. God still answers prayer. So, and you digressed a bit. The songwriting thing, it is a amazing when you can grasp the knowledge of what you can do with chords and a melody. So I want to check to make sure that there are no questions on my Facebook page. Okay, so now we have the elements. We have, just change my scene. We have the first elements of the song. We have the chording. We have a bass to go onto the bottom of it. Music, all the integral musical stuff that happens around it is secondary. We just need to be able to hear the message, which is the lyrics, hear the melody, which captures the ears of the listener, and begin to build chords and bass around that melody. So now we got to go to the next phrase. So as I'm thinking, what should the next phrase be? I went to the scriptures. And here's where I may change some of the lyrics. Men ought to always pray and not faint. God said, that repeats, men ought to always pray and not faint. When you lose a sense of lyrics when you're writing a gospel song, you can always rely on a hymn or a passage of scripture to support what the message is. So men, and I may switch that to we ought to always pray. Again, that's the rewriting part that I can do because I'm the originator of the song. But we'll use for right now, men ought to always pray because it's scripture and not faint. And it's answered, God said. Men ought to always pray and not faint. So we'll go back into here. So as I'm writing it, if the lyrics are going to say men ought to always pray, I should give that to the tenors. Men ought to always pray and not faint. Now we're in E flat, but I'm going to go to that 7th chord, because with that I can men ought to always pray and not faint. Okay, I told you I'm not a singer, so you got to forgive me if I'm not hitting the notes right. Men ought to always pray and not faint. God said, So I give the God said to the soprano, alto, and a third alto. So the tenors, men ought to always pray and not faint. God, a real off chord. Then we're going to build up Here's where the pray until something happens. I didn't write it out. I didn't copy that part of the song. So it's sopranos go pray, answered, pray, pray, pray until something happens. Again, musically, I'm listening to what can take me to the complete the complete understanding of the entire song. The push, pray until something happens. So the sopranos come in with pray, tenors and altos answer, pray, sopranos pray, tenors and altos answer, pray, sopranos go until tenors and altos something happens. So sopranos are still heading on until something happens. So after we've come out of men ought to always pray and not faint. God said men ought to always pray and not faint. We build up, boom, boom. Sopranos, pray, 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 pray until something happens. Pray, 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 pray until something happens. Come out with God still, boom, boom, answers prayer. The entire song with lyrics, understanding with the words, of course, melody written in the gospel 3-part harmony. Oh, welcome Sub-Zero. Written with gospel 3-part harmony. A little bit of elements of jazz in it. You know, that D flat over E flat over a D flat. That chord change. Again, when you hear a chord, because you practice so many chords, I don't know what song prompted me to try that change, but I liked the fact that it was an actual dissonant sound, because sometimes in gospel music we can become so traditional. You know, what is it, 7-6-3-2-1 change, where every gospel song, I don't follow tradition, I follow what I hear in my head. So I'm in the process of rewriting some of what I did. Again, probably 95% of it will stay exactly the way it is, chords wise, melody wise. Lyrics won't change. Maybe one word change. I may go men ought to always pray. I may say we ought to always pray, just to make it palatable to every. So again, some people have issues with scripture when it seems to be slanted to one gender. But I may leave it the way it is, because that's how it came to me when I was writing it. So I wanted you to see the concept in which I'm doing it. I'll let you see me rewriting, and now that you see the whole concept of the song, again, you see the whole concept of the song. I believe it was 1989 that I wrote this. I don't know why I didn't put the date on there. But I was making it available so that anyone I came across that didn't have a song like this could use it. So I wrote it where you had the chords. I'm sure you can see that. Let me just expand it a bit. As you can see, I put the chords there too. A flat over E flat for each lyric. Because the intent is to always share, not to just, as I say, keep it all for myself. But the intent was to always have music that can be shared with anyone. Through the non-sheet music reader can have the lyrics and hear the melody. The sheet music reader can have the melody, lyrics, and the chording that matches where the lyrics are written. What you don't have is all of the musician music, which I always say leave that to the interpretation of the musician who knows how he would, if we're in the one, for those who use the jazz, the number system, if we're in the one, this is what you're doing in the one. If you're in the two, this is what we're doing in the two. Now, give you an idea where musically I'm thinking about this song as I will create a track, a piano track to send with the singer. And about the singer, I want you to hear, let me come back here. I want you to hear the singer that I am going to engage in working with me on this project because she does this on a site called Fever and does it for free. And I'll see if you agree with me that I made a good choice. Let me just bring up her scene. I'll bring it up in this scene where I am right now. I have her scene here on my computer. I'm just going to bring up. Yeah, just put her in like this. Okay, technology allows me to. Okay, this is her. Give me a chance to adjust all of this. This is a site called Fever where I am hiring this young lady to give an adequate vocal to my song. I want you to hear her, so I have to be able to activate. I'm sure I won't be doing any copyright infringements because she's not on YouTube. I want to activate the audio on this page also. Let's see if we can hear it. This is her demo that caught my ear. Let's see if it comes through. Okay, can't hear it. Let's see. Just gotta go in and activate. Audio for this window. You know what? Let's do this. Let's send it here. Okay, you should be able to hear her now. She's my choice to hire.
Do you remember? Ba-da-da-dee-da. Do you remember? You remember my body? Said, do you remember? Body, dancing in, body, do you remember?
All right, so she is going to be the voice I am going to contract to put the oomph, in God Still Answers Prayer. So now, because I originally wrote the song for a choir, I had to now write for a vocalist who can do background tracks, which is really what I really want her for, is for background tracks, that I may go and research for another singer to do a lead track, just put an overdub lead on it. And then I, here in my studio, in my home studio, put it all together in my Pro Tools, because all I need is the voice. So let's, as I say, every time I hear her voice, I'm like, gee, I gotta rewrite my song to match her, which is why I said I'm going to change some of the inflections in the song for her voice. So let's take you back to my page. So I look at it now as if I'm writing for her. If that's the voice I'm gonna write for, she obviously has the range, so I'm not worried about can she hit that note without a problem. It's when I get the other two notes underneath, which her three she does her service is to backing parts for vocals, which is what I need. And this is what I'm thinking of taking the song not from here to give it a little bit more change. He will be right there to bring it back down. Then go back up. Hold on and don't and don't. That's what I'm thinking. Hold on and don't despair and don't despair. Having that and don't that's where my mind is now, because I will have a vocalist singing this and not your general choir. Hold on and don't despair. God still answers prayer. Hold and so in my head, that's what I'm hearing. I'm going to be writing and because she's paid by the hour, I don't want to, again, I'm not going to take advantage of her, but I want to stay within a, I'm going to say I have a budget. I can always bust my own budget. If I'm getting a good service, then I'll come back and bring 4 or 5 more songs to her. So here's my dilemma, if you want to call it a dilemma. Those were 1989 chords. I want to upgrade to 2022 chords. Now, what are 2022 chords? Are they the four, that right? No, the 6, 4, 1, 5. Can I write and put those in there? There's the 1. I don't want to leave. I'm trying to stay away from that, from what I had. Wow. That is the dilemma. Can I morph in what are considered the popular chords today? And right now, it's not winning. Those chords are not winning. One, 3, 4. So now I've got to slow it down. Try to give it a little bit more of a conscious thought. Let me put a drum pattern in there, because that always helps me when I have a drum pattern that will keep me from going too far with it. Now this one's a little bit too fast. Gotta hear these changes. Men ought to always pray and not faint. Men ought to pray, pray. Changing chords. Pray. Try that chant. Pray, pray. Pray, pray, pray until. Working on chords, pray, pray. God still, God still. So I'm trying to get my mode out of 1989 and writing for a choir and writing in 2022 for a vocalist. Yes, I am struggling with it. I'm just trying every different approach. Now this beat is dragging for me because it's supposed to be lively. So I gotta speed the beat up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 115, a little bit too fast. Try 100. Slow it down a little bit, maybe down to 90. Let's try 98. 98, I want 98. I've got to tap it in to get it. That's 108. Still a little too fast. I want 98. 2, 3. That's 95. He will be right there. Hold on and hold on and don't despair. So all the changes are fighting with the 1989 version of the song that I wrote. Alright, just put the beat out for a little bit, get my chord structure in place. Yes, the G on my keyboard is sticking, and I don't feel like ripping it apart. Sometimes it doesn't stick, but if you've been around 2008, and this is the first time I'm having an issue with it, I can live with that. Sometimes it's fine without a problem. So. Hold on, and don't despair, and don't despair. And don't despair. Yeah, I'm musically, stop that. Musically, I am at a crossroad. Usually I start throwing a lot of chords in there to clear my head. Just clearing my head. All right. God still, and just He will be right there. I can go with that. Hold on, and don't despair. Gotta hear that note. God still answers prayer. Men to always pray and not faint. Da 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 da. Pray, pray, pray. pressed until something. Why today? Something happened. Need that note. God still. Yeah, I'm gonna fight it. Because it was fine yesterday. God still answers prayer. So that both probably stay the same. I'm doing an octave switch here so I can get away from that note. Go down, right? That's going to mess up my chordiap. So that's where I am musically. I want to rewrite it, chord, phrasing, to match the talent which I'm going to be invoking to give musical or lyric life, vocal life, I should say, to a 1989 song. Can I keep it from the way I wrote it? Can I keep it in its simplistic mode, written for a choir? I could do that. I'm checking for my YouTube page, see who may be listening. Or do I undercut the entire song and modernize the path of the song? And a part of me is saying no, don't modernize it. Maybe you can throw a chord here or there because it's not a long song. It has 3 elements to it. I could add a 4th element to it if I decide to do that. But my intent is to get a song birthed in my head, put together with my fingers, placed on sheet music with technology, sung once or twice in a church setting, but put it out there so that it can be heard audibly. Lyrics can be heard audibly, and the next step will be some other large group of people or praise team may want to include this in their morning worship as they invoke God's Spirit amongst the congregation. God still answers prayer. He will be right there. Hold on and don't despair. God still answers prayer. Who has joined us, just watching my YouTube channel, Sub-Zero, thank you. I don't see if anyone else has come in. Thank you for coming and spending some time with me. I'm going to work on it a little bit more. I'll let you watch. I'll try to keep my mic away from me so you don't hear me mumbling notes, trying to reimagine a landing point. As I say, sometimes when a composer writes a song and then they consider it melody-wise, that's it. To go back in and start changing it, well, all the changes were done during the writing aspect of it. Well, the minute you assign chords to a melody, that means the melody is done. So in my changing the melody, putting a pentatonics run into it, bum, bum, then don't despair. Only a vocal voice can breathe those notes out and come out still strong at the end, which is why I said with this young lady who I've shown you a clip of singing it, I have no problem that she can do it because she has vocally in her demo shows that it's just a matter of getting the timing down. And when you get the timing down, you can send out a good product for the rest of the producing to be done. So I'm gonna let you go back. I'll take you back to my scene where I'm working on it and give you some more as I'm thinking about it while I'm doing it. What is going on through my head? I'm hearing, as I say, the beat that I'm using. It's a hip hop beat. Do I want a hip hop beat with this? No, I want a traditional beat. But this is good foundation for me to be able to get the timing down so I don't rush the song. Crash is coming and just stay right there. He will will be right there. Hold on and don't despair. God still. Trying to stay in time with that crash. And don't despair. Changing chords. Bum, bum, bum. Pray. God still. I don't like that change. And God still answers prayer. God still answers. Changing alto note. Men ought to always pray and not faint. God's men ought to always pray and not faint. Pray until need that G. God still. So many changes going in my head. 2, 3, and I need that G to stick it on me. And don't despair. Do I want a 7th there? And yeah. I'm satisfied. I got changes here. Pray, 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 pray until still like this chord. Just the resolving. God still resolve answers prayer. Okay, so I am who joined. Okay, not sure how many are still here, but for those who are watching, I am rewriting a song I wrote back in 1989. I have a vocalist picked out. I haven't contacted her yet. I will do that once I have a generic track written out. Again, when you get the vocals, I can change the music anywhere I want to, but I want to be able to have her have as much of a framework for her vocals as possible. All this will probably not be there, but it will be basic following. Again, she will get a lyric sheet, especially when she's doing 3-part harmony. I'm sure she must be an instrumentalist. She'll be able to see the notes that I have placed there. That G has got to be a lot better than that, though, so she can hear the notes. That's the one change I'm thinking about doing. What I could do is put two phrases in the song. The first one was the original, hold on, right there, he will be right there, and put a second phrase, he will be right there, so that I would have a vocal track. If I want to make that change, I can do that. Just put two different, the first part of it twice, and put that change in it. That's not in the sheet music, which means I'll go back and I will recreate another lead sheet 3-part harmony with both changes in 2 different sections. This gives me the ability to go in and cut and paste where I may want to place that in it. It's nice to have the option, then have to go back and rehire her to do that second part. Hold on and don't despair. Hold on and don't despair. I may give that both also. This way I will again have 2 options. Original, hold on and don't despair. That is bugging me right now because yesterday we did not have any problems with that G. Maybe it's the humidity here in the studio. We have to bring up the air, get that stickiness out of it. Don't act right now. So, questions. I'm open for any questions. As I say, music is not we're not etched in stone. I'm not stuck with what I did back in 1989. I can, as you can see, just start throwing in the generic chords of today. If I wanted to put them in there, I could. Big band sound. I can give you that full chord sound if I decide to throw saxophones, and the chances are there will be trumpets in the final production here and there, maybe a little bit of a saxophone and some strings. Again, the whole production's part of it starts when I've got the vocals in place. But I can start to, in the track creation, after she gets the reference track to put her lyrics to, I can start building it from there. 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes at the most, and that's only if I decide to run the vamp more than 2 or 3 times. Again, this will be a reference song, something that will be put out so that another set of vocal ears can hear it and say, hey, that's a song that we can use in our praise team, either as a warm-up song, God Still Answers Prayer, or for an offertory song. Because I wrote the song for offertory back in 1989 when I was a musician at the Kelly Temple Church of God in Christ. I got the opportunity to write several songs because a lot of songs that were coming out on the albums weren't appropriate. We needed a song only for a particular mode, a particular service. This one I wrote after seeing words up on a banner in a church, push. P-U-S-H, pray until something happens. And the songwriter in me said, pray until something happens. That should be a song. God still answers prayer. He will be right there. Hold on and don't despair. God still answers prayer. So that's the gist of the song. You've heard it. You've seen the original sheet music that I created for it. I'm going to recreate this first before I create a reference track so that I can put all the things I need in there. Probably will put the chords generic in there like I have it here, very generic chords. All the rumble stuff and all the trills and all that won't be in the reference track. But I got to give it enough pop so that when the vocalist is putting her voice to it, she can actually hear how she's going to articulate it as a singer. And I think I only get 2 revisions for what the her rates are. I didn't put up her rates. If you want to go see them, you're welcome to join the Fever site, and you too can search out her and thousands of other singers. I settled on her because she does gospel and R&B, and her demo track sat well in my ear, number one, and in my spirit that she'll know what she's singing about with these lyrics. Questions. Hey Sam, how is the beat making coming along? You encouraged me to give it a try. I'm on my second beat now. The first one was to see whether or not I could be happy doing it. And of course, I didn't go back to Bolo, the producer, and offer it so he can critique it, because I know it's my first beat. So I'm on the second one now. I want to gospelize it more, which means I want to use not just mundane melody and mundane chords, but I want to put some organ and piano and a little guitar in it, and put a beat around that, with breaks in it. So what I've been doing yesterday is I was sampling some of the chords I might want to put around it, and I'm probably going to go back and resample again. But because I did over 50 videos, in the month of April. I've never done that many. Even YouTube commented, "Wow, you've really done more videos than you've ever done in 1 month." Usually, I average one video a day, so that'd be 30 a month on average. But I put out 50 videos because I felt like trying different videos. I put out video shorts which were 16 seconds, and they got the most views. I said, wow, just putting out a 16-second video and getting 700 views in one day on a 16-second video kind of let me understand that my videos are too long. This live is long, but because I want to be able to share and shed, in a sense, give you some insights as to how I approach it. I watch other YouTube channels on how other people approach songwriting, how they approach teaching music. And if I learn something from them, I'll bring that understanding and technique to what I'm doing here. I've yet to see someone take a song from scratch and show how they wrote their song, but they'll always play a song out that they've learned from somebody else, and you never hear one of theirs. So I'm unique in my technique in that way. But yeah, the beat making won't stop. Again, it's on my iPad, so wherever if I'm someplace where I don't want to be and take my iPad with me, I'll be creating a beat or working on the beats because it actually samples. I have my iRig here. There we go. I have my iRig, which allows me to plug up into my iPad, and then I can sample the sounds from my keyboard. So it was not necessary for me to go and buy someone else's package. I create my own. Even that hip hop track, that beat track, I can sample that and use that as an underlying beat to what I'm working on. And I may just do that because I own the keyboard, so that as far as I'm concerned, I own that sound too. And there are other sounds in there that I'm going to create as a package for my iPad. And it remains to be seen whether or not I will look into creating a package that someone else may want to download and say, "Gee, I like that beat. Hey, can you send me that wave file?" No, I'll send you a package of files like everyone else does, and you can support Sound of Joy in that way. So it opens up this everything in music opens up different avenues of revenue, which is what now that I'm retired. I'm counting pennies in a sense, and how many other revenue streams. As you can see, I'm wearing my merchandise shirt, still supporting another female owner who has a her own clothing business. This is one of the hats. I have a shirt also that I may wear later on, but looking to enjoy this part of life where you can be very creative and supporting others also at the same time. Would that I did have my own quorum of singers that I could financially support in creating what I'm doing. I don't have that, and I recognize that everybody is busy. Life has everyone busy. So for those who are making their talents available electronically, I think I've used this site Fever on 3 or 4 of my productions. Very happy with the level of work that I gave them and how it came back and how I was able to maneuver music around it. So I'm going to go back to that site now with another one of my songs. I'm trying to always love to do show and tell. I don't need the headphones on. There we go. As I say, that's just one of many songs that I have written that I keep documented. This one has been done already. That one hasn't been done. That hasn't been done. That hasn't been done. Just looking in here. These haven't been done. I rewrote the Lord's Prayer. I already have a gentleman in mind. He did one of my other productions I rewrote the Lord's Prayer in 2002. I changed the melody, kept the entire words, changed the melody to the Lord's Prayer. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Well, anyway, there. Entirely gave it a more ballad style to it, so that it doesn't take as long to sing, along with some other songs that I have rewritten. And this is not all of them. This is just the ones that I put into sheet music. I have some I haven't put into sheet music yet. But taking my time and enjoying all aspects of not just producing but being creative. I have some more design shirts for musicians. This is just my logo shirt. I have one for a Hammond organist. I haven't put out one yet for a pianist. I haven't decided on how I would want that to look. I'll let the young lady with this business deal with the hats because it's straight. Sometimes I don't look in the camera correctly. I don't know if it's straight. Got a big head. But I'm looking at participating in all aspects of music and production. Just checking my page, see if there's any questions that I can look at. I don't see any questions. Okay. So I'm going to bring this to a close. Thanks for you for those who have been coming in and supporting me. I'm over an hour. I'm going to keep these to an hour. If you have any questions, I'm sure I didn't miss anybody. We got Samuel, my namesake, and Sub-Zero who have come in. Any questions? If anyone has any questions about this process that I'm doing, I'm always open to sharing everything. You will hear what it sounds like once I have it completed. Again, part of my purpose in life is to share everything and hide nothing. So when you see me doing the chords on my keyboard, you see the chords, you see why I'm forming them, you see how I'm forming them, and you hear what they sound like, because you won't get any better if I don't show you more than you currently know right now. And I always say that my purpose is not to make clones of me, but to make the next musician who's going to surpass me better by giving them all the knowledge that I know, that they can now take a much deeper leap. My doing the beats is an aspect of life that I said, you know what, I just want to know, could I become a beat maker? Which means I'd have to immerse myself in the whole river of beat makers. Now, the hip hop beat on the keyboard was written for that genre. This kind of genre they're doing now, that beat is not on there, but I can hear the elements of it. The 808, the pattern of the bass drum, where they place the crash. Every 8 beats is a beat phrase from Beatmaker. So every 8 beats, something has to happen or something has to be taken away. That's what I've been understanding as I'm listening to new beat makers, old beat makers, and how they can capture the ears of the listener with a beat and some sampled tones behind it. Some of these guys, you listen to some of these creations and you go, wow, what were they thinking about, and where did they get those sounds from? Well, most cases they sampled it from a record, sampled it from a recording, sampled it from some other sound. If you would ask them to play it live, they probably couldn't. But again, it's about the creation. You don't ever complain about the fried chicken. You just say whether or not it tastes good or not. So that's all I'm looking at doing, is immersing myself in another era of music, beat making. But here is the songwriting aspect that I've always loved to do since I was a youngster, to make a song from nothing and put chords and melodies around lyric words. Well, if I keep talking, as I say, I've said in the past, I'll just keep talking. Thanks for coming in, spending some time. Sam Tobin, Sound of Joy Music Services. We make music sound good. Take care. Be blessed.